The 1960s. Americans remember the decade by the things which continue to affect our world and society today. From sex, drugs, and rock and roll, to war, civil rights, and politics, it was a time of great change marked by a recurring theme: protest. Protest has shaped the United States of America since colonial times, and the freedom of assembly is guaranteed by the First Amendment of the Constitution. And while the theme of protest has been prevalent throughout the entire course of American history, many remember the political activism which took place during the 1960s as having created some of the most impactful change to our society as we know it. The events of the decade were so influential that some of the same methods of protest are still in use today. But what kind of protest occurred in the 1960s? What did people have to do to effectively cause change? And how do you use these same principles to protest for a cause today? So you have something that you don't like about your life or the world around you. What do? Find some people you agree with. In the 1960s, most people were limited to talking about issues with only the members of their local community, but they found common ground in church, in school, and with the neighbors, family, and friends. Now, with social media, common ground is everywhere. You can still talk to people in real life, but the use of a social platform makes it so much easier to share your opinion, communicate, and find people who agree with your stance. Form a group. In the 1960s, groups like the NAACP were pivotal in organizing protests to promote racial equality. Similarly, the Black Lives Matter movement has been instrumental in protesting systematic oppression of people of color in modern-day America. So grab those friends you've made and join a group with a stance you identify with. If there isn't a group, make one. Just don't form a supremacy group. Yikes. Make and share some art. Sing a song like Aretha Franklin's Respect or the Black Eyed Peas' Where Is the Love? Or compose your own. Write a book like Harper Lee or Bill Nye. Art gets people emotionally invested in an issue and helps to integrate the cause into popular culture. Draft a petition or write a letter to a government official and show people with power how much you care. Writing letters and petitioning the government were and continue to be cornerstones of activism in America. And technology has made contacting representatives so much easier through things like texting a hotline for help with drafting letters. Organize a demonstration. Getting the word out about an event in the 1960s usually involved the painstaking task of printing and handing out leaflets to a ton of people. Now, with the innovation of technology and social media, spreading information takes a fraction of that time and effort. In 2017, a grandma from Hawaii created an event on Facebook which gained over 10,000 responses overnight in what would later become the Women's March, the largest single-day protest in American history. If you don't like what a company is doing, get a bunch of people to stop buying their products online in real life, like in the Montgomery bus boycott and the SeaWorld ban. Though their causes are incredibly different, the results of both show that no matter the day and age, if enough people stop spending their money, corporations will be forced to listen. Coordinate peaceful protests and demonstrate through civil disobedience. You can organize a sit-in like the one in Greensboro in 1960. Or a die-in where you lie on the ground like in the 2014 protests in Ferguson, Missouri. Though situations surrounding the protests might be dangerous, peaceful actions will spread awareness about your cause and get people interested. Finally, you can also assemble and march. Marching spreads awareness, unites supporters of the cause, and really just shows the magnitude of the issue and how many people it affects. The March on Washington in 1963 and the more recent Women's March of 2017 both made significant impacts on their respective movements and show the type of change that can be achieved through assembly. When implemented, these methods of resistance proved to be catalysts of change over the course of a decade, the results of which improved the lives of a countless many. And though times have changed and our society evolves, the voices of the American people continue to make themselves heard through protest, the true legacy of the 60s.